Ah, it's you. Sorry, but Lord Zhuge Liang is away, and he won't be returning for a while. Just a little earlier, a man named Lu Su from Wu paid him a visit. He had been looking for a way of securing an alliance with our lord in order to oppose Cao Cao. Although Wu is powerful in its own right, Cao Cao's faction far outstrips them, and having us as allies makes little difference. Given the enormous gap in strength, many within Wu are advocating for surrender. However, if Lord Zhuge Liang's bold plan is to succeed, it is essential for the alliance to come to fruition. As such, Lord Zhuge Liang proposed that he himself would act as an envoy to Wu. I don't know. All I can say is that when I saw him go, I sensed a kind of aura from him, both fierce and resolute. If anyone is capable of stirring Wu's military into action, it's him. Now we must trust in our strategist and wait.
Someone said a massive army is on its way to Jiangsha. What's going on?
My intellect! Take this!
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Take this!
Even that is now push harder.
Let's go. An open situation.
The enemy officer has been defeated. The enemy officer has been defeated.
Let's go. An opening. Take that.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Let's go. Yes! Take this! I've been waiting for this. An opening!
Can't believe this. The enemy officer has been defeated. This territory is ours.
Never wait for my time. With all my might. shoulder! Take this!
I know a couple people who went with Lord Liu Bei. Hard times ahead for them, it seems.
I have to say, Cao Cao's persistence is becoming a real pain. The situation was uncertain for a while, but thanks to you, we made it to Jiangsha in one piece. Of course not! As if the great Zhang Fei of Yan could even be scratched by the likes of them. We were outnumbered, but it was nothing we couldn't handle. Definitely not compared to the battles Brother has awaiting him. I can barely even imagine how much work it's gonna take to build his ideal world. A place where everyone can live as they wish. I ain't nearly as cunning as Zhuge Liang, but if he points my blade in the right direction, that's where I'll swing. You know, I've thought it over often enough, but in the end, fighting's about all I can bring to the table. Anyway, if Brother's gonna be taking on overwhelming odds, I guess I'll just have to use my overwhelming might to clear a path for him. Well, that may be what I always do, but having a clear goal in mind takes some of the weight off of my shoulders for some reason. I don't really like the way Zhuge Liang talks, but I guess I ought to give credit where credit is due.
It was a long journey to get here.
You did an impressive job protecting my brother in such dire circumstances. Allow me to express my thanks once again. You have done far more than that. We could hardly have made it this far without you on our side. Lord Lu Qi, the ruler of Changsha, and an acquaintance of Lord Zhuge Liang, has promised to lend us his aid. But as I'm sure you know, Cao Cao's forces will neither bend nor break so easily. The many talented officers under his banner will no doubt demonstrate their might and their cunning on the battlefield. To call them the strongest army in the realm would be no exaggeration. Our brother faces no greater threat than this. However, we have no choice but to overcome them. Brother now has an ambition to fulfill, and people to protect. All that remains is to make his dream a reality.
It pains me to admit it, but I was in over my head. My desire to lead the people to freedom led to some losing their lives. Even so, I just had to try. The people of Jing wanted me to lead them. Needed me to. If I had left them behind, I could never again have spoken of my ideal for a world in which all can live as they wish. Yes, I suppose that's true. I must think of it that way. Our troubles have yet to pass. We may face further sacrifice if we are to rout Cao Cao. Yet, I shall fight to the very end and fulfill my aspirations for the sake of those who are devoted to me. I suppose that sounds like something Lord Cao Cao would say. Perhaps it is only now that I bear the weight of these lives on my shoulders that I am able to stand shoulder to shoulder with such a giant. At any rate, let us wait for Zhuge Liang. I trust that his return shall herald an alliance with Wu.
We have returned.
Oh, greetings, my friends. How went negotiations?
The fleet commanded by Wu's General Zhou Yu awaits at Fan Ko, ready for battle. Before long, they shall take up arms against Cao Cao's advance force.
Then that means...
Indeed. Lord Xuan Chuan has decided to join hands with Lord Liu Bei in his fight against Cao Cao.
Well, auspicious news indeed. You have my sincere thanks, Lord Lu Su.
I fear that without Zhuge Liang's tenacity, Wu may have long since chosen surrender.
Tenacity, you say?
I suppose it was necessary to draw those advocating surrender into a debate. He acted as quite the villain, to put it lightly.
No need to hold back. I'm sure he wasn't acting. After all, he's always had a disagreeable personality.
We're in front of the man himself. Allow me to keep my opinions to myself.
Even if we secured an alliance with Wu, the fact remains that our forces are scarce in number. That Lord Sun Quan decided to fight with us means he must have seen some chance of winning. And what is this path to victory that you have envisaged?
To compensate for our numerical disadvantage, we will intercept the enemy on the river. After discussions with Lord Zhou Yu, we decided the battle would take place at Chibi in Jing. There, we will rendezvous with Wu's navy.
So, we're taking the fight to the water. Perhaps that may offer some chance of winning.
Most of Cao Cao's men were raised north of the Central Plains. To speak plainly, they are inexperienced when it comes to naval combat. The people of Wu, conversely, were practically born with their sea legs. No doubt this will offer a huge advantage in the fighting ahead.
Still, this is Cao Cao we're facing. Surely he will attack with enough numbers to cancel out that advantage. Yet, on the water, such caution will only work against him.
That massive fleet, tired from the long journey, will be disorganized. Fatigue will lower morale, and the Yangtze will hamper their maneuvers. The enemy won't be able to deploy quickly, which will effectively immobilize them.
And when that happens, we shall set them ablaze. Thus shall Cao Cao's forces lose any hope of fleeing and sink into the Yangtze.
Amazing. Do you truly think we could pull off such a feat?
This is no time for conjecture, my lord. We simply must. Our lives depend on it.
Lord Lu Su. Yes. Yes. It is as you say. All the more reason for us to hurry to the rendezvous. To Chibi, with all speed.
A moment, Pang Tong. I wish to speak with you.
Well, well. So you're the one to call on me this time, Zhuge Liang. I distinctly expressed that I've no intention of putting my neck on the line. Or have you forgotten?
Even for me, the very idea of dragging a dear friend into battle pains me to no end.
All the more reason to leave then, don't you think? I have no desire to ally with Wu, or any of you.
Are you sure about that? Cao Cao is constantly seeking talented individuals. He may already have his sights set on you. If Jing falls into his grasp, your days of peace are over. You'd be forced into a life of vagabonding or supplication to Cao Cao.
Is that a threat? Sorry, but that won't work on me. The capture of Jing is well within my calculations.
I see. Then you leave me no choice. I didn't want to have to use this last resort, but here we are.
Last resort? Well, I'll be damned. So they've got you doing their dirty work for them, have they?
You're close with him, are you not? Perhaps you could put in a good word for us?
I almost feel guilty for causing you to be dragged out here. Oh, if it were anyone but you. I don't think I could ever bring myself to refuse if it meant damaging your reputation. You're as insidious as ever, Zhuge Liang. Fine, fine. Just this once.
Your support is most appreciated, Pang Tong.
Just remember that I will support you as I see fit, and at my discretion. Still, I don't mean to cause you any trouble. Don't you worry about that.
I know it is late in the night, but I have something urgent to discuss with you. Yes. There is a task that I wish to entrust to you. A highly significant one at that. The plan I shared with Lord Liu Bei, setting fire to Cao Cao's ships. Such a strategy is no assured victory. There is one major hole in the plan. Cao Cao's forces will march southward, and thus, they will naturally take up camp to our north. This time of year, the winds of the Yangtze River Basin blow from the west and the north. But if we simply set Cao Cao's ships ablaze, the northern wind will scatter the flames, preventing them from spreading to the entire fleet. Cao Cao knows this very well, and likely intends to take up position to the north. Oh no, the plan shall surely succeed. As long as we have your power. The power to read the wind. Perhaps due to the climate or terrain, a southern wind sometimes blows down from the cliffs of Chibi at night. I need you to sense that change coming and give the signal to loose our flames. You have my thanks. In order for our fire attack to succeed, we must exploit all means at our disposal. This is a vital task I could entrust to no other. Perhaps I shouldn't say this, but we're counting on that power of yours. Victory or defeat is in your hands.
Wu has overcome every crisis until this point. I'm sure this will be no different.
finally confront Cao Cao in a battle that will decide our future!
We prepared as best we can. All that's left is for us to believe in each other and fight through to the end.
Hold your heads high! This is a fight we will win!
Cao Cao's forces seem to have responded to their defeat by changing their formation. They have linked their ships together into a solid platform, which will enable them to fight as if they are on land. I suppose such quick decision-making is to be expected from the ruler of the Central Plains.
But this time, those quick wits of his will be the cause of his downfall. Pang Tong's abilities have proven to be very impressive indeed. For one so reluctant to join us, he has greatly exceeded expectations.
Lord Pang Tong was tasked with infiltrating the enemy ranks to offer a proposal to Cao Cao. A plan to prevent his ships from rocking, that is.
A fire attack against a scattered fleet would give the flames no path to spread, rendering it largely ineffective. Having their vessels clustered together and bound by chains will make the fire much more devastating.
In short, Lord Pang Tong's scheme is but the first step in our greater plan to defeat Cao Cao's army.
The chain stratagem, implemented by connecting several plans together in order to topple a powerful foe.
Still, we must keep in mind that a chain is only as strong as its weakest link.
And for that reason, we cannot abide even a single failure. We must all be aware of the consequences of the slightest mistake.
Have you heard? It seems Huang Gai has disappeared from the prison.
How did he break out of such grievous injuries? I can't imagine he could have escaped on his own.
No one knows where the enemy soldiers who surrendered in the last battle are either. You can bet they had something to do with it. Huang Gai a traitor? It almost defies belief. Oh? Well, we haven't seen you around these parts in a while. So, you've been at Lord Liu Bei's side, have you? I suppose I can be honest with you. The truth is, Huang Gai may have turned traitor.
Not only has he been openly criticizing Lord Sun Quan of late, but his actions have been consistently suspicious. What's more, when Zhou Yu questioned him on his behavior, he carelessly spoke of having made contact with Cao Cao.
After that, he was flogged and thrown into the prison. Yet now, not a soul knows where he is.
Believe it or not, the fact remains that it happened. I wish I had taken the opportunity to question him myself. Regardless, if Huang Gai has defected to the enemy, Cao Cao may be aware of our plans. We must proceed with the utmost caution in the next battle.